2 things that you need to start doing today that will change the game when it comes to your stress level and organization in your home. Hey everybody, Jen Rivas here with another video on how to do simple better, how to change your health, habits, and home in just 15 minutes a day. Now I asked the question, which part of your home is the hardest to keep organized and clean? And hands down, the answer was kitchen. For the record, guys, I was not an organized person years ago. So these things that I'm sharing with you today have dramatically changed everything for me. And I'm gonna break this down into several videos, sharing you all my tips and tricks on how I stay organized in my home with a busy family of 5. So let's get started. So when I first started looking into organizing my life and how I'm going to do that for a busy family with kids and schedules and all this other stuff, I stumbled upon what was called a command center. Now, I had never known what the heck a command center was, but when I realized it's basically a fancy name for where you keep your family's schedule and how you keep that organized. And since doing this, I have been on top of my game when it comes to being organized with our schedules and everything that we've got going on in our crazy busy lives. So let me break this down for you and show you exactly how I do it and a few tips and tricks along the way. This is my command center, and this is set up in my kitchen, just on one main wall that we have. I love it because I'm looking at it every day. If I keep things in eyesight, it makes it so much easier for me to stay organized. So really, just to break it down for you, we've got our clock. I always know what time it is. I've got a little magnetic board for coupons or pictures or invites to remember that are coming up if they don't fit on our calendar wall. I've got a don't forget checklist for my kids. Now, believe it or not, I use this too. It helps to keep me in line and never forget walking out the door what I need. This is also great for my kids because they tend to forget things like their water bottle or a mask. You know, it is 2021. These are the things we need to remember. So that is super helpful. I keep it at their height level so they can check it as they're walking out the door. Now, staying on the kids, each of them have their own little mailbox down here. And in these, we just keep things that are school related. Papers that need to be signed, tests that need to be corrected, whatever it is that, you know, they've got going on at school, we keep everything in there so it's at our, you know, just an arm's reach. And then over here, how I keep my kids organized is we have chore charts for them. And yes, we do incentivize them with money. I think it is instilling in them, you know, being able to pay for certain things on their own. It just makes them appreciate a little bit more. So that's how we do it. And so they'll just make their checks of what they've done. At the end of the week, we add it up and they get paid every Sunday. And then here we've got our filing system, which obviously needs to be filed right now. But we'll have things that need to be filed, obviously, things that need to be opened. I try actually not to ever not open mail as soon as I bring it in. But if there's anything, you know, we haven't gotten to, it usually goes in here, it reminds me I need to open it. Any bills that need to be paid, anything for myself or my husband, we keep there. Now, this was a simple, very inexpensive filing cabinet I got from IKEA. And these things here are just magnetic little chalkboard eraser things that I just cut up to fit on here. Super inexpensive, super easy. Same with these clipboards. I love it. I just hung it on a little nail there. And we can honestly change these out to be whatever you want. I mean, that's why clipboards are super easy. You can even hang artwork from the kids. You can get creative. A little inspirational quote, be the exception. I believe in that to my core. So you want to get things done, you got to be the exception. Okay, here's my big tip with the calendar wall. And I actually just bought this huge dry erase board from Hobby Lobby. I think I got it when it was one of their 40 or 50% clearance sales. And I bought this little black electric tape off of Amazon. It's like super thin, very inexpensive. And I created, get this guys, not one, but a 2-month calendar board. So a couple tips about doing 2 months instead of one. I don't know about you, but I found that for when I was just doing 1 month at a time, I'd always have things in the upcoming months that I had nowhere to write them down, and then they just get lost in the shuffle and they would never make it to the calendar. 2 is I would procrastinate. You know, if I fell behind like a week and I forgot to change it to the next month, I would find it'd be 3 months later and I'd be changing it. So having that second month available visually to you not only made me feel like I was like ahead of the game, but it just made me feel like I was able to stay on top of our schedule and upcoming events. And then down here, we kind of have just like our week in review, things that are always sort of on repeat for us that we would not necessarily have to write down on the calendar every single day, but just sort of our routine throughout the week. Of course, I like to keep dry erase markers handy, as well as some magnetic clips. Sometimes those come in handy when we have something that we really need to remember and needs to be kind of front of mind. Keep in mind too, guys, it does not need to be huge and on a whole wall. This could be a very small command center on your refrigerator, or maybe on a small space on a wall that you might have. Don't think it needs to be huge. I'm a very visual person, and I had a wall that was bare, so I decided to go for it. Is that command center something you think you could do? If you found that helpful, let me know in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe. Now let's get on to tip number 2. My second tip today for you is to make yourself a home organizer binder. I don't know why I never thought about this before, but having everything in one place, God forbid I got super sick or got hit by a bus tomorrow, I know that someone stepping in will have a lot of information they need for our day-to-day doctor's visits or school information, information about our home and our warranty. It's all here. Another super helpful, handy thing to keep in your binder is restaurants that you love, or even if you have visitors often, I like to keep in there things to do in the area. I don't always remember, and I hate when people visit and you're always scrambling for some fun activities around town. It's always a good idea and definitely comes in handy. Hopefully you guys found those tips helpful. I am excited to see what you do with these suggestions. Let me know again in the comments which one you like better, and maybe if you already are doing it, let me know. And if you have any other helpful tips for other moms, make sure to leave those in the comments too. If you have any ideas you want me to do for future videos, let me know, and also be sure to subscribe. Click the notification bell, y'all, and I will see you in the next video.